Recommendations for our diet continue to shift, but doctors have been pretty consistent on fried food.
Don't like this message.
I know,
everything in moderation, that's what Dr. Mehra always tells me. One of the latest studies looked at eating fried potatoes 2 or more times a week and actually linked that habit possibly to people dying early. So we wanted to ask Dr. Mandria Mehra from SSM Health about this. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I don't like this study. I told you that before we even started this. I like my tater tots every now and again, but this is important because, I mean, this is huge amount of consumption in this country as it relates to fried foods.
Of course, this is a heartbreaking study, literally and figuratively, all pun intended. But yeah, it's true. So it's not that potatoes are the bad guy here. So that's the good news. Here's the silver lining. It's how we eat our potatoes, how they're prepared, how much sour cream we're putting on it, maybe the sodium consumption, and definitely if they're fried versus boiled or baked or other types of eating that potato. So unfortunately, this study did study over 12,000 people, so a very large study, and it did show that people that consumed over 2 times a week of the fried potatoes, so that means everything we love, our potato chips, our hash browns, French fries, things like that, did actually show a correlation of dying earlier and younger death ages. So this correlation does not mean causation. So again, a silver lining. Yeah. Maybe it's other kind of associated factors like sedentary lifestyles, what else you're supplementing those fried foods with, like the salt, the sour cream, that kind of stuff. So correlation does not mean causation. However, it is an interesting study and something to take stock of.
Everything in moderation.
In moderation. If you're going to eat the potatoes, you know, try baking them, try boiling them. There's so many different ways we can eat them.
I love a good baked potato.
Yeah.
And you mentioned sedentary lifestyles, and a recent study is showing that the average teen is just as sedentary as the average 60-year-old. This seemed pretty surprising to me. I think a lot of parents are going to be surprised by this one.
Yeah, this is shocking new data. So we kind of intuitively always talk about this. The kids nowadays are maybe less physically active. Is it the Nintendo Game Boys, whatever, I'm dating myself, but or is it the internet games, is it our cell phones? But yeah, this is alarming. The average 17 to 19-year-old was just as active as a 60-year-old, and this is not okay. Of course, all the recommendations say at least 60 minutes of vigorous activity, getting out there, sweating, moderate intensity to intense activity, and teenagers just aren't getting this.
I would imagine both teenagers and 60-year-olds ought to be getting out more, right? I mean, this is not just to knock teenagers.
And it studied teenagers, young adults, as well as older adults. The only age population that did show some increase in activity was in that 20-year-old age category. Unfortunately, from there out, it was decreased.
We have about 30 seconds left, and something else as a woman that I found interesting is females were, in this study, were even less, you know, the teenage females. What can we be doing about this? What can parents be doing?
Yeah, so something we can look at is when do those activity levels really dip? And sometime between 2 and 6 p.m. is kind of a key time, especially for parents to say, go out to that physical education class, let's get them involved in sports or running or whatever it is that girls love, girls and boys, but of course girls is an easy target here.
I'm just thinking of those conversations at my house. Get outside, go play. Dr. Mehra, good to see you.
Good to see you.
News 3 this morning, we'll be right back.